Lag. It's one of the absolute best things you can have in your golf swing. And what I've found through practicing this myself over the years is that I can make an almost effortless golf swing. And as long as I get that wrist angle to set and then released, it's like there's a snap of power coming through contact. And I can swing really easy and not very much effort at all and still get a ton of distance out of these shots. Let's go ahead and just do a nice little easy one with tons of lag and see how it goes. So you see there, not a very aggressive backswing, just not kind of nice, free-flowing, nothing really happening there. But I got a lot of lag, set that, and then it just kind of released and whipped through contact with a lot of speed. Once I learned to develop that the right way, man, my distance just went off the charts. So that one probably carried a little over 200 yards with a 7-iron, and most of that has become coming from the very efficient way that I stored energy up with lag and then just let it take off through contact. Now there's a problem with this. Most players have been taught lag the wrong way. And it actually doesn't matter what you do with your wrist angles if you don't get this one thing correct in the golf swing that I'm going to teach later in this video. First, let's talk about the fundamentals of lag. Then I'm going to share with you that one thing that just ties it all in together. It'll be like a light bulb goes off. So the fundamental here is I don't want to ever max out my lag until about halfway into the downswing. So when I'm making my backswing, I want a very little wrist set. I want to feel like my hands are wide away from my body and almost like my thumb is down toward the ground here. So if I exaggerated this, it would look something like this. Like the club is like lagging back behind my hands here. And then as I go into the backswing, I don't want to have this fully set in the backswing. I want to have very little wrist set in the backswing. It's not until the downswing that this is going to be sharpening up. And I'll reach that maximum angle about halfway in the downswing. That's one of the big keys there. If you pick it up, set it fully, it's going to go. And when I tell you later on in this video, it's going to make complete sense of why it's impossible to get it fully set and really max it out, have a great looking lag swing. Now, the second piece is the shallowing of the club this way. As I shallow the club, that can make a much sharper looking angle. Here is the club straight up and down vertical. I'm going to take this club, I'm not going to set it anymore this way. This is locked. This is as much as I can go. But watch when I turn it back, look how the shallower I go, the more it looks. So it's a bit of an optical illusion, but the shallower you go, the more lag it appears like you have. Now that's a very big advantage. I want to get this club really shallow here so that I can turn on the power coming through contact instead of having to back off of it. That's the second fundamental. We have to make sure that we shallow it out, we give it time to get flatter before we release it, or it's just never going to work again. Now finally, the third piece, and we've all heard this, we need to make sure that we release it. We need that snap, that real big snap of speed coming at contact. Now most players get that snap of speed at the top. What I said before is most players will set it quick, the club gets fully set up here, and then it starts firing right from the top. So they set it too early. When I fire from the top, that kicks the club more vertical like this, so now you're too vertical. We're not doing the second thing that I talked about. And then most importantly, no matter what you do, if you go fast from the top, it's impossible to get lag. Let me demonstrate this for you. I'm going to over-accelerate my hands. So I'm going to take my hands there. I'm actually going to split my hands apart, and I'll show you the slow motion of this too. But I'm going to yank down on this club absolutely as hard as I can. My wrists are going to be perfectly loose. What's going to happen is you're going to see me get a bunch of lag up here, and then all of a sudden you're going to see this club flip past my hands. And the reason is because I've over-accelerated early and the club overtakes my hands and arms. So let me go ahead and try this out. Try not to hurt myself here. All right, so there, I didn't feel like I threw my hands and arms at all. All I did is feel like I yanked down on this club, and you can see it even when I'm doing it there. I yanked straight down on this club, and as it accelerated, it got sharper, and then my hands couldn't keep going. I ran out of speed with my hands because I've over-accelerated them, and then the club just flies past my hands. So here's the real secret. You can feel this in a golf swing. I'm going to show you how to get too much lag at impact now. I want you to go ahead and just take a little swing back to here, have this club at about a 45-degree angle, and then I want you to really accelerate your hands and arms toward the target. Now you'll notice when I do that, I actually increase my lag, right? So watch when I just rip my hands toward the target. Look, the club almost flies back up and hit me. I had to watch out, about hit me in the belt area there. That would have been good. So if you really yank it forward, this thing's wanting to kick back up and increase your lag. When I slow it down now, which is what I did there, I yanked the club down, I got lag. As soon as it slowed down, all of a sudden it started to flip past my hands. So what is this telling me from a physics standpoint? What it's saying is, when you're accelerating quickly, you're going to increase lag. And when you decelerate, so again, I'm going to do the same thing here, I'm going to accelerate and then I'm going to throw the brakes on when my hand gets over the top of the golf ball, it just flies right on past. So it's less about what you're doing with your wrists and your arms. It's more about how you're putting force into the club and making that gradual throughout the downswing. Here's what I want you to feel like. I want you to feel like you actually start down the opposite. I want you to feel like you start down by casting a little bit and going really slow. Bear with me, it's going to be a crazy drill, but I promise you this will work. Cast a little bit, go really slow, wait until you get down here, and then feel like it really accelerates as you come through contact. What you're going to find is with that feeling, you'll get rid of that over acceleration from the top. So I want it to look just like this. No wrist set from the way down, and then as you're coming through contact, feel like you really get the hands going forward, and that club is just going to kick back like the one that almost hit me in the belt. Kick back, and I have tons of shaft lean as I'm coming through there. So basically my hands are going slow, 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 and then they're really taking off at the bottom. And my club is going cast, 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 cast as much as I can with slow hands, and then it's going to kick back this way at the bottom of the swing. Now that's the feeling. It's not going to seem right. I promise you, you're not going to feel like that's right. But watch when I do that feeling, that same exact feeling here on a full swing, you'll see just how much lag that I have. Let's give it a whirl. There we go, tons of lag on that one. And again, the club's just slinging through there because I'm accelerating late. Another one flew almost 200 yards with a 6-iron. Very happy with that. But there's still one problem with this. You see, when you get more lag, this is the thing with all swing changes that I've found, is that players will get a fantastic new feeling. They'll get tons of lag in the downswing. All of a sudden, this club is just wanting to fly back like this, and you almost can't even stop it from doing that. But you're not used to it. And when that club gets more lag, it's going to be more open here. This face is going to be pointing more up toward the sky. Now you have to learn the pro wrist movements that are going to allow you to bow this left wrist, get this awesome angle between the right wrist, and then release that on through there. If you don't do that, the face is just going to be too open. So this club's going to be wanting to work back like this. You're going to have all this late lag, and then you're going to block it over to the right. You've got the right acceleration. You've got the club wanting to do the right things now, but we got to get the face doing the right thing to match up with that. This is a totally new feeling that you're going to have. So I'm going to play a preview of a video that's going to show you exactly how to do that, called the tennis racket drill. All you need to do is go ahead and click the card that pops up on the screen, or if you don't see that card, don't worry. Go down to the description below and click the link there, and you'll get instant access to it. You pair those two things up. You get this club just wanting to shoot back with a ton of lag. Then you learn to square it up properly with the face. It's like you can't miss. All you got to do is just turn on through there, through impact like you want to, and man, you're going to hit some really well compressed shots. Best of luck, and I'll see you in the tennis racket drill. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is, instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it, the flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time,